Thank you, Chairman Risch, Ranking Member Shaheen. It's my honor to be here as President Trump's nominee for the United Nations. First, I also want to thank my family, especially my wife, Julia, herself a fellow combat veteran and accomplished diplomat. And if confirmed, you will definitely get double the bang for the taxpayer's buck. I have my mother, Brenda, here, who has always been my rock and who bootstrapped her way through life. My daughter, Anderson, a rising senior at UC Boulder. And I have spared the Capitol Police, our 3-year-old son, Army, and his energy. I think they may have a hard time keeping up with him. But I also want to especially thank my fellow Green Berets, SEALs, veterans, and particularly the Gold Star families that are here today. We have had each other's backs through wars shaped by decisions made in this building. I promise to keep them and to keep all of you in mind as we support President Trump's focus on peace through strength. So our experiences obviously shape how we approach these positions. And for this one, my experience as a Green Beret serving alongside NGOs, development agencies, the UN, out in the field, in Africa and the Middle East, has certainly shaped my view. I've seen many organizations that frankly mean well, but execute poorly. Lack of coordination, bloated bureaucracies, poor contracting. I have literally seen over and over again hospitals that lack beds, schools that lack supplies, schools with supplies where they lack teachers. And by the time the aid filters through layers of subcontractors, only pennies reach those in need. As a former congressman, I bring the perspective of representing hardworking Americans, welders, nurses, teachers, small business owners. And if we were at a town hall looking at them, could we answer their questions on whether their money was being well spent? Many of them, frankly, in my former district would ask, should we be in the UN at all? Here's how I'd answer the question. I'd answer number one, with the UN's need for reform, but also its potential. We should have one place in the world where everyone can talk, where China, Russia, Europe, the developing world can come together and resolve conflicts. But after 80 years, it's drifted from its core mission of peacemaking. We must return to the UN's charter and first principles. Peacekeeping certainly has an important role, but also needs reform. The U.S. funds 25% of these efforts, yet we have missions in Africa. I've talked to a number of you about this during our visits. They cost billions, tens of thousands of soldiers. We've had 2 that have been around since the 1940s with no mandate renewal and no end in sight. We must press the Security Council on length, cost, clear end states, and focusing on peacekeeping, not nation building. Countering China, absolutely, Senator Shaheen, is critical. It's absurd that the world's second largest economy is treated as a developing nation in most UN agencies that gives China favorable status. China pursues its personnel or pushes its personnel into roles at all levels, including bodies that set international standards, aviation, telecommunications, IP. U.S. leadership is essential there. America must have a strong voice, and if confirmed, I'll work with Secretary Rubio to challenge this influence. We must also challenge pervasive anti-Semitism. From 2015 to 2023, the General Assembly passed 154 resolutions against Israel versus 71 against all other nations combined. UNRWA in Gaza, with its staff involved in the October 7th massacre, its schools teaching anti-Semitic hate, must be dismantled. The reappointment of Special Rapporteur Francesca Albanese, with her calls to boycott American companies doing business with Israel, highlights this bias. President Trump's executive order, Chairman Risch, your Stand With Israel Act require withholding funds from such bodies. And I fully support Representative Elise Stefanik's proposal for an Abraham Accords caucus within the UN. Regarding budget, the UN's overall revenue has quadrupled in the last 20 years, yet I would argue we have not seen a quadrupling of world peace. It has not been commensurate. The U.S. pays more than 183 countries combined. Meanwhile, 28 countries contribute just $37,000 and $5,000 to peacekeeping. The UN has ballooned to over 80 agencies with overlapping missions that waste resources, and if confirmed, I'll push for transparency, like what we're seeing in the Secretary General's UN 80 reform plan, calling for a 20% staff cut. It's worth remembering that despite the cuts, the U.S. is by far the most generous nation in the world. And finally, the UN's radical politicization. Such reports as, quote, stolen Native American land, reports and investigations, quote, called the George Floyd mechanism, labeling American police in America systemically racist, with input from countries like Cuba and Venezuela, it's unacceptable. Mr. Chairman, Ronald Reagan once said the UN can, quote, solve problems or spread discord. He said, the choice is ours. In just 6 months, President Trump has brought dozens of hostages home, justice for our Abbey Gate Gold Star families, secured the border, denied Iran a nuclear weapon, brought ceasefires to conflicts in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Yet there is still tremendous work to be done. I'm confident under this president's leadership, we can continue to spread peace and prosperity, and I'm confident we can make the UN great again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.